The WNBA has always been a physical league, full of competitive fire and trash talk. And on the full sequence of that play, Caitlin was talking. And in this league, no one backs down to trash talk. Now, I have played with Kennedy Carter, and her choice to retaliate on a non-basketball play was literally foul and something that she has struggled with her entire career. That was not okay. But one player's approach is not indicative of an entire league. All rookies, especially number one picks, I know what it's like, have been tested mentally, physically, emotionally, from Candace Parker to Sabrina Ionescu to Kelsey Plum to Skylar Diggins-Smith. And a few days ago, Alyssa Thomas was just ejected for a hard play on Angel Reese. Plays like this happen in sports, but now it's being used to further agendas that don't serve the game. So when it comes to women's athletes, there's this expectation that players in the heat of the game should constantly stop what they're doing and be appreciative of Caitlin. They should bow down instead of being the competitors that they are. These women are elite basketball players who are competitors, who show up and show out every night before the eyes were there on the game. We all know and we appreciate the unparalleled amount of growth and attention that Caitlin, I'm her biggest fan, is driving to help become the beacon of so much interest and engagement and viewership to this game. But that narrative, that actually does a disservice to her, because the ones who grind through that type of grind become beasts. This is not hate. This is hoops.
And, you know, she said a lot there. The WNBA is a physical league, that trash talk. You know, she's saying that what the Kennedy Carter foul on Caitlin Clark was not indicative of what the WNBA is. And then immediately after that, named a bunch of rookies that have gotten tested and pushed. So which one is it? Is it something that they don't do, or is it something that they do? Because right after you said that's something that players do not do, you named a bunch of players that dealt with it. So which one is it? I've watched basketball and I've watched the NBA for almost all, like pretty much my entire life. And I can tell you that NBA players pick on rookies intentionally. Yeah, maybe not to where, like what happened with Caitlin the other day, because it was right off of a basket and into a out of bounds play. However, we have seen shoulder checks. We have seen people get grabbed. We have seen people get so yes, actually, what she did and how she felt about Caitlin Clark in that moment actually is indicative of how people feel about Caitlin Clark. They probably think she's a soft-ass bitch, which is what most people think about star rookies coming in until they get told otherwise. So, yeah, you're right. It happens in sports. So let's not pretend as if that was a isolated incident, because we are going to see more of it. And you said that people are using that moment to further agendas. What agenda is it that you think people are trying to further? As a person that's new to the scene, that's watching games, what agenda could I have? As far as she said something else. And this part really bugs me, bro, because I don't even understand where this shit.
Athletes, there's this expectation that players in the heat of the game should constantly stop what they're doing and be appreciative of Caitlin. They should bow down instead of being the competitors that they are. These
Am I missing something? I must be missing something. Where is it that somebody said players should bow down to Caitlin Clark? I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from. No one thinks players should bow down to Caitlin Clark. There are people that think that she should be getting the ball all the time on her team, getting shots up. That's an opinion. There's people that think that she's getting treated unfairly and she's getting bullied. Those are probably people that don't watch basketball that often. There's people there's people out there that probably do think that some of these players should be grateful or thankful for some of the things that have happened because of her. And they shouldn't, in the privacy of their home. They don't need to tell her that. Because they all know what it is. But no one has ever said to bow down to her in the middle of a game. What the fuck are you talking about? No one has said that about Caitlin Clark. And so I don't know where this narrative comes from. Because I've been saying this from the beginning. What she's going through in real time is something all rookies have gone through. So let's not pretend as if these women are not targeting her on purpose. They are. Kennedy Carter just went overboard, obviously. But let's not pretend as if they are not targeting her on purpose because she's a rookie. Correct? Now let's put ourselves in all of these professional WNBA players' shoes that have been playing since before this year. You've been working at your craft. You're the best at what you do. You've made X amount of dollars. And now here comes this little girl from college that the media says will take over the WNBA, that the media says will dominate the WNBA, that she is now bringing all of the eyes to the WNBA. Oh, and let's not forget the fact that she just signed a $28 million contract with Nike. The person that's been in the WNBA working their ass off, how the fuck do you think they're going to look at that person? Let's not even go to jealousy, right? They look at her as like she's food because they're prideful, because they are elite athletes, like you said. So let's not pretend like, one, they're not targeting her, and two, like there isn't some extra oomph when they take a shot at her because of all of those things that I just laid out. Because they are humans. I'm not calling them haters. They're not jealous. At least most of them are not jealous of Caitlin Clark. But I would imagine that if you were sitting at your desk at your job and then someone walks in that gets paid 8, 9, 10 times the amount that you're getting paid, and they say she's the reason all of this is happening, that you wouldn't look at her sideways. That if her microwave went off in the break room, that you wouldn't tell her, or you wouldn't tell that person that their food is ready. Let's not pretend like that wouldn't happen. So let's not push this bullshit narrative about people saying they gotta bow down to her. About, like, I saw a comment that said, oh, the WNBA was good before y'all got here. They were on charter. They were flying commercial. They'll be fine then. They've been complaining about how much they get paid. What the fuck are you talking about? let's people were complaining that these women were not getting enough views, that they weren't getting enough like or respect and blah 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 blah. And now when the views come, oh, you guys fucking have too many opinions. You can't say this, you can't say that. Hey, newsflash, this is what a fucking sports fan looks like. Have you ever watched soccer? Have you ever watched football? Have you ever seen what those motherfuckers say about their teams and their players? You would be mind blown. So let's not act like you haven't been here. Let's act like we know what sports is. Sports brings out the fucking worst in some people. Super fans. Casual, like, these are all terms that have been around. We know what this is. We know what it looks like. Let's not pretend like we haven't seen it.